The date is June 4th. And if you would like to join our meeting, on the screen, we are sharing the URL, which is our website, where you can find the June 4th Historic Landmark Commission meeting agenda. Find that agenda, and we have a WebEx link for you to join the meeting if you'd like to make public comment on this WebEx forum. We also have some instructions for joining a virtual meeting if you haven't used this WebEx platform before. And if all else fails and you need some assistance, please feel free to email us. We have staff monitoring our website, or our email, pardon. You can email us at historiclandmarks.comments@slcgov.com. If you would rather just send in a comment about, we have one item tonight, about tonight's item, or any preservation related comment that you would like us to read into the record, we'd be happy to read that for you, read that email for you. Or if you need any other help, please email us. Thank you. All right, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And with whacking my water bottle on the desk, we now open Season 1, Episode 2 of your favorite online drama, or perhaps it's a thriller, of the Salt Lake City Historic Landmarks Commission. Welcome, everyone. I need to start out with the opening statement. Let me find it here on my other screen. Welcome to the Salt Lake City Historic Landmark Commission. The Historic Landmark Commission is made up of citizens of the city who are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the city council. The commission primarily does three things. We make recommendations to the city council on policies and ordinances related to preservation in Salt Lake City. This includes the designation of local historic districts and landmark sites. As a certified local government, provide input to the Utah State Historic Preservation Office, SHPO, regarding National Register nominations within the city. We are also charged with reviewing and making decisions on land use applications for properties that are located within the Historic Preservation Overlay District. This includes design review of building alterations, demolitions, economic hardship requests, construction of new buildings, special exceptions, and historic building relocation. It is up to the applicant to present their project and provide evidence, that shows how their project complies with the specific standards of review. The planning staff is here to let us know why we are reviewing an application, what standards we need to use in making a decision, and point out the key issues. The role of the public is to help us identify the issues and impacts of a proposed project and provide input on how they think the project complies or does not comply with the standards of review for which the Historic Landmark Commission has authority over. On items where the city council is the decision maker, opinions may be considered. Our goal is to have a welcoming and safe environment for everyone. To reach that goal, we ask that those in attendance adhere to a few ground rules. Now, some of these are more relevant to our in-person meetings, but I'll read them nonetheless. 1, silence or turn off your cell phones or your background noise as you're speaking online. Respect the person speaking and do not cheer, clap, boo. I don't think we need to worry about that too much in this format. If you wish to speak, I believe you can raise your hand on the WebEx format, and our Michaela Octay, our moderator, will call on you. You have 2 minutes to get your thoughts out. Your time cannot be combined with someone else's time. Everyone will get the same amount of time to speak so that we can ensure everyone is treated equally. Please keep your comments on topic and succinct. Okay, moving on to tonight's agenda. First of all, we would ask my fellow commissioners to, if they've read the minutes for the May 7th meeting, and if so, Did they look to be in order? And is someone willing to make a motion to approve those minutes?
This is Robert Hyde. I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Thank you, Robert. Do we have a second?
I second Torres Mora.
Very good. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Say no. All right, the minutes from May 7th are approved. Next, we go to the report of the chair and the vice chair. All I'd like to say is, looking back on our May 7th meeting, I want to thank planning staff for setting up this new format and making it work so well. That was awesome. And thanks to staff and the commissioners for sitting through an epic meeting, 5 hours plus. We aren't going to need that much time tonight, I hope, but I just wanted to thank you all and say job well done. Mr. Vice Chair, Robert, do you have anything to say?
I'll just second your comments, Kenton. That the city's done a marvelous job of dealing with this structure of how we're meeting.
Yep, very good. All right, on to the
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
Mr. Chair, might I take a moment just in light of what our city is going through? I think it's really appropriate for us to pause for a moment and to acknowledge on our commission, we have a really, really unique opportunity to preserve history such that we can tell complete histories to the next generations. We can tell them in all of their goodness and all of their struggles. And I'm very proud of my fellow commissioners who work so hard to make sure that we're preserving complete histories. And I'm thankful to our city for protecting us now and taking seriously the need for posterity. And I really hope that we can continue to dedicate ourselves to acknowledging and telling the whole story, even when it's uncomfortable, such that what we're seeing now doesn't have to happen for change to happen, that we can preserve we can preserve history for a future that makes us all happy and included.
thank you, Victoria. Nice comment. I'd like to add to that, thanks to this mayor and our previous two mayors and the city council for appointing such a diverse and interesting board. I think it brings a lot of various viewpoints and backgrounds, and I think we're stronger for that. Okay, anyone else comments in this respect?
Thank you, everyone,
Great, okay.
for everything.
Your turn. Director's report, please.
I have a couple things to report on. One thing is Caitlin, our planner, is having a little bit of a WebEx issue. So maybe I better just report for just a few more minutes here. I may just give her presentation for her. WebEx has had some interesting server issues today. Okay, other than that, yes, a couple things. If you recall the Joe Ann Apartments building, that was a contributing building that was painted and they appealed and lost that appeal. That they have removed the paint or in process of removing the paint right now. A member of the public wanted to thank the commission and make sure that you were aware that that was happening. Just one moment. There was another item that Cindy Cromer emailed us, and I don't think that she'll be in attendance this evening, was that just to let you all know that the Septimus Sears house in Liberty Wells that was damaged so extensively by the earthquake was demolished, I believe, yesterday. So that's sad, but it is what it is. What else was I going to say? I'm just trying to pull up Caitlin's PowerPoint and get Caitlin on the line here. Thanks for everyone. Thanks for the work that you do. It's someone told us to stop saying turbulent time, but it's a turbulent, uncertain time, and I think a meaningful, growing time for our country. Hang in there. Hang in there.
Hey, Michaela, I'm not sure if you saw, but Caitlin is on the line now.
Yay! Wonderful. Where is she, though? She is not.
Is-
Yes, she
in
is.
the panelist
Can you say something, please? Perfect timing.
Happy to be with you this evening.
Oh, wonderful. Great. Thank you. So stressful.
Okay, I guess at this point, it is time for public comments before we get to the first item. Is there any members of the public who wish to comment on historical items not pertaining to the agenda tonight? I don't see anyone. Michaela, do you see any hands raised?
No, I do not. We don't actually have any members of the public on right now. Mr.
Very
Chair.
well. Let's move right into item number 1, certificate of appropriateness for a major alteration located at approximately 761 North Wall Street. Please proceed.
Thank you very much. Let's see. All right, Michaela, could you pass me the ball, please, so I can share my screen?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So our project this evening is located at 761 North Wall Street, which is this property here that my cursor is circling. The street to the north that curves is, of course, Wall Street, and then the street on the left of the photograph is 300 West, just to give everyone a little bit of perspective as to where in the city this is located. And I'll be presenting the materials for items 1 and 2 in one presentation, since they really do go hand in hand. This property is located in the Capitol Hill Historic District. It is right on the edge, as you can see here, between the original district and the extension. And this is the home in question. So as you can see, the home is, The home is about 1.5 stories tall. It's just a single family detached dwelling. It was originally constructed from the west to the east. So this western cell was the first portion of the building that was constructed. This piece was later added on, and then this addition is the section of the building that is in question this evening. It is the most recent addition to this building. All right, let me get down into the site plan here. All right, so this site plan that has some notes taken in red is the configuration of the property currently. This is, of course, the addition that our applicant is seeking to remove and replace. As you can see, there is a doorway on the eastern side of the structure that leads to stairs into the basement. And beyond that, that is the entire function of that room. So the property owner and the applicant, her architect, have created a design that would bring in some more living space and introduce a new front door. and it would pass through to the rest of the house and just create a more functional living space for the property owner, Miss Ivy. So along with the certificate of appropriateness for the replacement of the addition, the applicant has also asked for a special exception with regard to the lot coverage. Just because this lot is quite small, and the zone only allows 40% lot coverage. Just with this very small historic home, they were already at 36%. And the addition of this new building space would bring that up to 44%. The zone that they're located in, which is the SR-1A zone, only allows up to 40% lot coverage. So they are asking the Landmark Commission for an approval to utilize an additional 4% beyond that to make the property a little bit more functional for the property owner. These are the elevations of the existing home. As you can see, the roof line is very unique on this property. On the western end, the main roof is just a gabled roof, but on the middle portion of the structure, it becomes a hipped roof, and then the addition has a shed type roof. So none of the roof lines are the same as one another, so that makes the property a very unique structure in this neighborhood. As you can see on the upper left elevation here, this eastern elevation, that shed roof drains towards the rear property line, and with the configuration of the existing roof lines, the applicant has noticed that there has been some damage done to the structure just because of the way the water is draining. So that is one of the reasons that they are asking to get that certificate of appropriateness to replace that addition. And this is the proposed addition. So as you can see, the new addition would come much closer to the eastern property line, and it would mirror a similar gabled roof, and it would also have the same asphalt shingles that are found on the main roof. There is a small writer's nook here, which is the closest portion of the building to that eastern property line. As you can see, they are also bringing the new front door farther out to the north. So it will sit proud of where the existing addition sits. However, it will not go past the front porch, which is one of the character defining features of the building. The applicant has also proposed a wood cladding of, I believe it's, I'm sure I'm going to butcher the name, it's Bachu wood or Batu wood. It's similar to Ipe wood. So they're proposing a wood siding for this home, and it would be sealed and clear treated so that it would just retain that wood look of a material. And then just for some more interest, we have the renderings of the project down here, so you can get kind of an idea of the material similarities and the differentiation between the original portion of the home and the proposed new addition. So staff has reviewed the applicant's request with regard to the special exception, and our finding is that with the lot being so irregularly shaped and so small on its own, that allowing that additional lot coverage really does allow the property owner to have more functionality in her home and utilize the property better. So the staff is recommending that the Landmark Commission approve that special exception request. We have also reviewed the proposed addition with regard to the residential design guidelines, particularly Chapter 7, I believe it is, with regard to the roof. I know there had been some discussion about utilizing a different roof material. However, the architect and the property owner have both agreed to utilize the asphalt shingle and mirror the same roof line. So the addition would look like it is still compatible with the main home. Then this is, let's see. So these are the constructional drawings of what the final layout would be. So again, as you can see, this writer's nook is the farthest portion, well, it's the portion of the building that projects the furthest to the east. And then the new main door will have a small vestibule behind it. And as you can see here, it does project past the existing addition. However, it does not go in front of that porch. So the character of the home is preserved in that right. And I tried to keep it kind of short and sweet for you. I didn't want to take up too much of your discussion time. So if you have any questions for me, I'm more than happy to answer those. If you have any questions for the property owner or her architect, I believe both are on the line as well.
Caitlin, Kenton here. Just one question. What's the floor area, the square footage of the existing, and what would the floor area be with the proposed addition?
So the existing addition is 165 square feet. The proposed addition is 365 square feet, so it would be a total increase of approximately 200 square feet, which would bring, I believe, the entirety of the home up to 1,150 square feet.
Would you repeat that again, please? There was some noise.
Sure. Sorry about that. So it would come to a total of approximately 1,150 square feet. The proposed addition is about a 200 square foot increase over the existing addition.
Great, thank you. So it's not really a mansion.
No, and that's one of the tricky parts about this lot that the applicant pointed out to us was that in and of itself, the lot is so small and so irregularly shaped that really anything that was built onto the house would look very large in comparison to the house itself.
That makes sense. Other commissioners, do you have questions for staff? Mike, if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Oh, Commissioner Vella, can you repeat that? I was muting myself while I was telling you that I unmuted you. Oh, goodness. Commissioner Vella, did you have something to say? You were on mute.
Okay, am I unmuted now?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Commissioner Vella, can you repeat your thoughts, please? Commissioner Vella, did you have thoughts to repeat? Hello? Okay,
Well, Mike's going through that challenge. Can you hear me?
yes.
Mike, if we're not hearing you, if you want to type, if you can quickly type something in, perhaps we could read it off while we play around with trying to get you audible. Michaela, do you have master control on muting and unmuting?
I do. You have control, but
Called in and it's
he's unmuted.
last minute.
Okay, David?
I don't have any comments at this point.
Okay. You're hard to hear though, so when you do have comments, you need to up your microphone or.
Okay, gotcha.
Thanks.
Okay, other commissioners, are there any questions for staff? Apparently not. Would the architect or the owner like to address the commission?
Osamo?
We've been working with a commission for about 4 months or so, and I feel we've been communicating really well and follow the guidelines. So
Osamo, would you mind turning your volume down? Perhaps there's some feedback. Maybe that would be better.
okay, is that better?
Yes,
Okay,
perfect.
good. Yeah, we've been working with planning department and ask questions, and they taught us suggestions and how to basically follow the guideline. And I feel I worked with the owner and came to a conclusion that my client is happy about. And as layout suggests, this layout is going to improve her house tremendously. Otherwise, it would be strange layout where you come into a living room and go through bedroom and go to kitchen type of layout. So my client really hope this proposal could work, and she loves the location and hopes to be a good neighbor in this area. That is it.
Great, thank you, Mr. Uchiyama. Would the owner like to add anything to that? Sorry about
Sarah,
that.
did you have any comments to add?
Yeah, sure. This is Sarah, the owner, and this is my. I'm fairly new to Salt Lake City in the last year, and this is my first of these sort of attending any of these meetings. So I'm not exactly sure what's expected or what would be helpful to say, but I do love the area in large part because of its historic nature. And I hope that the Warm Springs building will also be, I mean, it would be great to be restored to its original purpose. But anyhow, yeah, when I saw the house, I moved here from Florida a year ago, and I really, I wanted it, but I really needed 2 bedrooms, not one. It's a 1-bedroom house. And the thought was that this damaged, largely non-functional space would be good for a 2nd bedroom. It does not have any electricity going to that room. It has water coming in on the south portion, and where the roof line is the lowest, at the lowest point. The house sits right up against the neighbors to the south, and I wasn't aware that the property line, when I purchased it, was a little bit misrepresented to me, where the property line is like in the middle of my front yard. It's not, and it's just a very strange shape, and not uniform on the westernmost portion compared to the easternmost portion. It's like set back even further on the easternmost portion. So anyhow, and then like Asamo mentioned, you enter the current front door and you go through a series of rooms to get to the kitchen. So the new design would you would enter a living room, and then it would flow into the kitchen, and then bedrooms would be on the other side of the home. I don't want to talk for too long, but for me to make the project this financially feasible, really, to because I'll be taking a construction loan out, I really have to increase the square footage, not just to make it more functional, but also just to make it like cost, I don't know what the word is, not effective, but doable financially. So to get a return on the investment for the construction. So I guess I just, in summary, would say that I love the home. I've learned a lot about the history of the area that I very much respect, and it's one of the things that I treasure about living in the home. And all of that was kept in mind as we sought to create a design that would be more functional, financially doable, and I have good relationships with all my neighbors, and I know they didn't comment, but they've expressed to me excitement about the possibility of further improvement of the block, which has changed tremendously in just the last year and a half. And I guess that's all I have to say. And thanks to everybody for their service and attention to this application.
Great, thank you, Ms. Ivy. At this point, we'll ask the applicant to step down and open this up to public comment. Apparently, there's no members of the public that I know of who wish to speak. So I guess we'll close the public comment, and we can go right into the commission's closed discussion.
Sir, we had actually one person.
Oh, okay. Bring
Mr.
them on.
Broadcast, can you reopen the public hearing?
Yes, I will reopen public hearing. And
John,
please.
Mr. Broadcast?
Michaela, that's John Rand from IMS.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Well, okay. Let's just close that.
Okay, so that was just static from outer space? Okay, well,
sorry.
Okay to move back into closed session? Michaela?
Yes, you can close it.
Okay. Public comments are now closed. We're into the closed commission discussion period. Commissioners, would anyone like to comment on this project?
This is Commissioner Richardson here. I have a question for.
Hey, David, could you speak up a little bit or pump the volume?
Lean into my microphone here. I have a question for staff. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. The site plan, the architectural site plan, which is page 18 of the staff report. We could bring that up on the screen.
Okay.
AS 1.1 is the drawing. Yeah, it's there somewhere.
All right, I think I've got it pulled up. Let's see. Michaela, can I have sharing privileges again, please?
Sorry.
Thank you. All right, AS 1.1.
There we go. Okay. Now, as we look at this, it looks as though we're building right to the site line, the property line on the northeast property line, that diagonal line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if, as part of our special exception tonight, that if we need to address that.
No, I think the special exception that was applied for was for the lot coverage. However, that's a good point, and I don't think it would hurt to address that setback idea.
Okay, I'll try and cue something up.
Right, so David, what you're referring to is there's probably a required side yard setback that is being violated there that we'll need to address.
Is it the front yard? Is it the side yard? I think we're just going to, I think maybe we would just address it as the setback to the diagonal property line.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds good, David. Okay, well, David's working on that. Are there other commissioners who wish to comment on this?
Can I ask the architects to speak to the different finishes, because we'll have that wooden finish? As someone who's not from the architecture world, I mean, it looks beautiful, but are there any concerns around that? And why would we do that instead of something more monochromatic?
Mr. Uchiano, would you respond to that, please?
It is owner's choice. It's Brazilian wood. She is wanting quality, also low maintenance wood siding. I think we are open to color suggestion, but we do not really want to paint the wood. As it ages, I think it would will lose a little bit of a warm color, but that's the finish we choose. And historic guidelines says it wants to be, distinctive from the original. So, and stucco wasn't really recommended, and metal isn't recommended. So it left us with a brick or stone or wood siding. And considering the thickness of wall structure, we went with wood structure with wood siding. So if there's an objection to color and that is going to hinder the appropriateness, we can definitely consider alternative.
I just wanted to add too that the alteration standards do, and the design guidelines do encourage differentiation when an addition is added to a contributing building and have differentiated. You can discuss that further, but that's what design guidelines and standards call for.
Yes.
Victoria, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, like I was saying, from a non-architect vantage point, it looks beautiful. I just was wondering if it met all the other criteria, but I think it's great from an aesthetic standpoint.
Good. This isn't really part of our purview, but will this be done as a rain screen system, or will it be direct applied to the wall sheathing?
I think for health of the siding, I would recommend rain screen. And material guideline that I attached to the proposal shows rain screen detail. So I would recommend, if we are to get approval of this project, I would detail as a rain screen wood siding.
Very good, thank you.
Can I just say, Commissioner Bellows having some issues with his audio, but he did type in to all the rest of the commission that he feels that the wood is proposed is appropriate, and the rain screen approach is appropriate.
Great, thank you, Mike. Sorry we can't hear you tonight.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
So because we're talking about color, I didn't give this a whole lot of thought because it was my impression that I'm curious as to whether I need to get permission or approval from the commission to do any painting. So I like the white and the just the natural wood look. But I didn't, it's hard to tell in a rendering. So I'm curious if I'm at liberty to, if the project is approved, if I would be at liberty to decide to paint the stucco another color other than white, which I know it was only painted white, I think, in the last, since like right before I bought it, I think. But I like the white with the natural wood look, but I'm just wondering if that is something that I'm at liberty to do, or.
I'd like to address that. And Michaela, this is Richardson speaking. If I get this wrong, please correct me. But unlike some historic landmarks commissions, for example, Nantucket Town, we do not necessarily regulate color. Which is to say, you could paint your house purple if you chose to, but if you have a masonry building, please don't paint it, as you may have heard from earlier. But it's not our purview per se to regulate color, although in construction oftentimes we do.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
All right, other commissioners' comments, or someone willing to put forward a motion?
I've got a motion queued up, and then we can certainly open it up for discussion if that works.
Very good, David, please proceed.
Okay, I'd like to say, before I present the motion, for the record, a diagonal small triangular lot like this truly does present a unique situation. And I think this is appropriate in this case for this small addition to ask for special exceptions of these kinds. So there are two motions here. I'm going to present them separately. The first is an easy one. It's for approval of the major certificate of appropriateness. And so I move to approve a certificate of appropriateness for major alteration in case PLN PL HLC 2020 number 125, that based on the information in the staff report presented this evening and the lack of public input, the commission approve this and delegate details to staff.
Okay. Commissioner Richardson has made a motion. Will someone be willing to second that motion?
Anyone?
I'll second Torres Mora.
Who was that? Was that Rocio?
Yeah.
Very good. We have a motion and a second. I will take a vote on it. I will prompt you one by name. Michael, we'll start with you. If we can't hear you, give us a thumbs up if you approve. Commissioner Vela, aye. Paul Svensson,
Aye.
Robert Hyde,
Yes.
Rocio,
Yes.
Victoria. Yes or no? Aye or nay, Victoria?
Yes.
Very good. And back around to David Richardson.
Aye.
Thumbs up. We appear to have approved that motion unanimously. So that motion passes.
Okay, I'm muted. Let's queue up the second motion here, and this is for PLN HLC 2020, number 127. This motion is also consistent with staff recommendations. So based on information in the staff report and information presented, I move that a Historic Landmarks Commission approve petition PLN HLC 2020 number 127. Specifically, this is a special exception for lot coverage of up to 45% and to approve setbacks to the diagonal lot line, towards the diagonal lot line as shown on drawing AS 1.1 in our staff report.
Very good. Thank you, David. We need a second for that motion, please.
Commissioner Vela, second. He was like giving a thumbs up.
Oh, I lost his video. Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. I will again go person by person for a vote. Since you are on my screen, Commissioner Torres Mora,
Yes.
Commissioner Petro Eschler,
Yes.
Commissioner Hyde,
Yes.
Commissioner Svensson,
Yes.
Commissioner Vela. I don't see.
He wrote in and said that he was in agreement with the lot coverage issue.
Thank you. And last but not least, Commissioner Richardson.
Aye.
All right, that motion also passes unanimously. And I believe this case is approved and closed. Good luck with your project, Ms. Ivy, and let's move on to the next issue. And actually, that's it.
That's it. And
We've got one. Last comment then, I believe the July meeting is not until July 16th. Is it correct?
that's the next meeting is July 16th.
Okay. Most likely we'll be doing it online again, so keep an eye out for that.
Thank you. And I think that, yes, I think that we're going to be online for a while. So just to manage expectations for the public and for the commission, it looks like we will be doing virtual meetings for quite a while. The city county building right now is closed. We've received no word on when we're going to get back in. They're doing repairs. I think between COVID and the workers, and it was damaged a little bit from the riots the other day as well. Yes, we will not be having any in-person meetings for for quite a while. So some of these meetings go really smoothly, and some of them we have all kinds of little hiccups. So apologies for tonight's hiccups. I think today is just a little bit jinxed, but thank you all.
Yeah. So commissioners, make sure your home or
Thank you very much.
spaces are comfortable, because we'll be using them quite a bit. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Uchiyama. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this meeting is now closed. Good night.
First step is participate. You have the option to complete the census online, by mail, or